Hi, this is Brooke Delgado, and this is my week 12 unemployment update. That number keeps growing, but it's okay. I had some traction this week. I had 2 phone interviews at the beginning of the week, and just this morning I got calls from 2 separate recruiters telling me about positions that seem like pretty good fits. So I'm optimistic that the Denver market is starting to pick up and that I'll have a job sooner than later. I love that these videos have kind of morphed from here's what it's like to find a job during COVID to here's what's on my mind. So I'm excited to tell you what's been rolling around in my head lately. And it starts with a management philosophy I have. When you become a new manager of a team, you are going to get information about that team. Someone is going to give you the good, the bad, the ugly on every employee that will be working for you. You're going to find out whether they think they'll progress in the company, whether they're any good at their job, the person's strengths and weaknesses. You're going to get the down and dirty on every employee. I believe as a new manager, it's your job to vet and verify that information. And the reason is because you may be getting old info. You are getting someone else's perception of that employee. So think about this. What if the employee made a mistake 1 or 2 years ago? It is so hard to change perception, so that perception from the mistake stays with that manager or supervisor for the next 1, 2, 3 years. And that manager passes on that perception to you. It's not fair to the employee to just assume that they are who they were 2 or 3 years ago. That employee has had time to learn and grow, not only in their career, but learn from their mistake and change their habits. The way you vet and verify is by getting to know the person on an individual basis. You ask that employee, what do you think your strengths and weaknesses are? Where do you want to go in your career? Are you happy in your job? That gives you a baseline of where to start. Then you can start building your own perception and your own opinion. And you're going to get experience just working with the employee. You're going to learn what they're good at, what they're not good at. But at least you're starting to form your own opinion and not taking someone else's and dragging it on. And I started thinking about stereotypes and how stereotypes lead to racist assumptions. And we are in the middle of a huge Black Lives Matters movement right now. We as Americans are trying to understand and acknowledge that systemic racism exists. What if we took those stereotypes that we have about races and vet and verified them? What if you talked to somebody of a particular race and got to know them on an individual level? What if you had an open, honest conversation about that stereotype and you learned a little bit more of where that stereotype came from and why it's offensive or why it's not true? We have the opportunity to break down those stereotypes one by one. And the only way to get rid of all the stereotypes is for everybody to change their idea about those stereotypes. Challenge them, vet, and verify them. I just downloaded the audiobook, How to Be an Anti-Racist. And I cannot wait to give you a full recap next week once I finish it. I'm only in chapter 3 and I love it already. But I think it's important that we continue to educate ourselves and challenge ourselves during this time. If you have any feedback for me, I'd love to hear your opinions. I'd also love to hear if you have any topics you want me to talk about. I am happy to give my opinion. So I hope to hear from you soon. Leave a comment, send me a private message, and I'll talk to you next week.